approaches and has a hit. Jack McGlynn! That is an absolute banger to draw this game level.
What's happening? We're here. We're live. Just a little bit late. That's fine. Had some things going on. Had to watch a kid, make sure got him down. But we're here. We're new game week, fresh game week, and it's not a short slate. So a lot of good things, a lot of positive energy here. Hopefully we have some people here. I know it's a little late for a lot of people. So if you're coming in here, say what's up. I appreciate people for coming in. And if you're watching it back, I appreciate you watching it back as well, for sure. So basically just going to go through game by game, answer your questions as usual. We'll probably have a lot less chatter maybe because it is already 10 o'clock my time. So Lord only knows what time it is for you. So yeah, well, let me just load up some things. And as you're coming in, say what's up. Hopefully we get some people in here. If not, I'll just go through the lineups myself and we'll kind of go from there. Red or dead first in. Let's go. How we doing? How we doing? Bulat, always on time. Love to see it. Ahmed, welcome in. Welcome in. Love to see it, guys. 3 a.m. That's crazy. 3 a.m. I must be lonely. A little Matchbox 20. We're on the eve of the Euros too. Jay, what's happening? Let's go. Let's go. Eve of the Euros. We'll talk about that a little bit here. But yeah. It's Hershey. What's happening? Your Oilers losing 4-1. Yeah, I got that on a side screen. Panthers are for real, huh? Oh, 12 p.m. here for Balat. Wow, late night all around. Early morning maybe for some of you. I know we have some Aussie watchers as well. So thanks for coming in. Basically, if you have questions going through, I'm going to go through because there's a lot of uncertainty as well, as always, because MLS, they don't tell us anything. So it's great to see. Sweating it in D1 rivals. Let's go. Let's go. I still haven't made my video for the week, but I barely played, but I did get promoted. 7 p.m. there. Yeah, so you're on Pacific. Sun's still out, looking great. Love to hear that. It's Hershey. Let's go. The old Pacific Coast there. Love to see it. Yeah, let's a lot to go over, a lot to pull up. If you have some questions, just go ahead and hit them. I'll rapid fire them as we go, as usual. Yeah, we'll just kind of let it go its course. We do have a midweek to worry about. I hate midweeks more than anything. I know it's more utility, but I've grown for the content. I hate it, man. I just really hate it. But, you know, we're here. It can't be that bad, right? It's tough with the turnaround and rotation. And a lot of eyes are going to be on the Euros. So I was kind of looking at some of the prices, and I was like, man, some of these MLS prices have dipped, especially in the limited market. I don't really play limiteds, but I kind of thought could be interesting for sure. And it's your Carranza is back. Yeah. Hopefully he starts. But good to hear. And the transfer rumors, you know, are still there as well. So let me just update some of this data from the server probability sheet. And once we have that, we'll be good to go. First question, Joe Willis or Berkey in your priority lineup? We'll look at both. That'll be the first thing I'll take a look at. Raining here. Makes sense. Got to load. Lodinho, the GOAT. He's so good. A while ago. Nice. Yeah, so we'll talk about Willis and Berkey first. So this is server probability sheet. If you're unfamiliar, this basically I use this all the time. It's good for kind of projected scores, as well as there's several lineup predictors that we'll kind of go through, which is nice. So I put my lineup predictions in here. You can kind of see like projected points and make some decisions. I use it as a lot of toss-ups. I use a lot of the other, great tools as well. Server data, lineup builder. But it's just kind of one extra thing that you can kind of use to make decisions. And it kind of makes it easier for me sometimes. So let's go to the player database. And actually, let's go to fixtures first. Yeah, let's go to fixtures first. And let's look at just MLS. so we can talk about it and just kind of break it down. So like my thinking whenever I'm playing a goalie, so back to the question that it was Joe Willis or Berkey. So what I would basically do, hopefully this loads up. What I would look at is clean sheet odds are obviously a big deal. And then a little bit about the players for sure. If you take a look, there we go. If you take a look at who's home, I usually like to lean towards the home, but if there's a good chance of a floor play and not conceding 3, I like that as well. So Nashville, if you can see this, let's make this a little bit bigger maybe. Nashville is on the road at the Red Bulls in a difficult matchup. As you can see here, the win percentage for Nashville is 22%, and the clean sheet is only 22% as well, 21.83. So that's not a lot to love. But if we take a look at St. Louis is kind of similar as they have a tricky matchup with Dallas, but slightly bigger edge as far as the clean sheet goes. Dallas doesn't score a ton. I did write up in my RotoWire article that I do like Dallas. But are they a team that's going to score 3 goals? I don't know. Maybe this is that kind of breakout week, but usually they don't. I do like Rowan Berkey a lot. I would prefer Berkey a lot, but that's just kind of mine. But let's, just for the sake of it, let's see who is projected more and go from there. So Berkey is the 5th highest here. I think that goes just to show like some floor points as well. And then if you kind of look down, and nice thing about this, you can filter out. So like with MLS, I could just filter out the guys that aren't playing. So we might as well just actually do that. So predicted start min, we'll just go with 50% just to show all basically. And then that'll just take out the guys that aren't playing, which is really nice. So you can kind of narrow it down to see everybody there. So boy, where even is he? Willis is down here. So that kind of backs up the idea of Berkey. And if Berkey lets up 3 goals and has a 0, it's not my fault. Who's the starting goalie for Toronto? So yeah, let's start in Toronto. I do want to say I have gone through training pictures and things like that. So with that being said, I haven't seen Sean John. Some of these guys that are for Copa America, like Coco Carrasquilla for Houston, is coming back. He's skipping a friendly for Panama and coming back and playing. So we know that. Now these other guys, we don't know. Like Sean Johnson, I honestly have looked pretty heavily at like, even Instagram pictures. I haven't seen him in training. I haven't seen like many training pictures either, but some guys will come back. Some guys won't. Will he? I just don't know. Some guys will stay in camp, without the extra travel. My gut is he's not going to be with the team, but like Honduras released their MLS players. So you'll see the Honduras, like Davey Flores, he's back. So there's a lot of things going on there. I guess it would help if I took him off the screen. Let's see, zoom in a little bit, get a little bit better. But I have Luka Gavrin as the starter, 90%. Again, these are preliminary, and I've been throughout the day kind of going through and updating a little bit. Could I change that a little bit? Probably, maybe knock it down and then put Sean John in a little bit. But I just don't think Sean John's going to be back. Could I be wrong? 100%. I could be wrong. But that's kind of what I'm going with. Diego, let's go. How's it going? You're pumped from Euros, I'm sure. Duncan just ditched Musa. Yeah. Diego, can the Galaxy stack shine? They should, right? Especially the offensive. And as Duncan said, against Sporting Kansas City, you would think, can they score 3 goals against Tim Melia? I really think they will. Will they keep a clean sheet? I don't think they will. So maybe an interesting offensive stack and then go defensive elsewhere, which I would highly suggest that instead of going the full Galaxy stack, but we'll get into them. Brose, what's happening? Good to hear from you. Good to see you. Yeah, 10 people. I'm actually surprised with it being a little bit later. I appreciate everyone coming in. And again, fire your questions as you're going through. We're just going to go through the matches. And what I'm going to do a little bit differently is we're going to go through fixture by fixture, and then I'll just pop to whatever ones you want to see. So I'm just going to go through top to bottom. So this is sorted by the biggest favorite to the smallest favorite. Again, this is server probabilities. Colorado Rapids. It seems that they are the biggest favorite as of now. I just updated the sheet. So like if you hit update data, it updates everyone. Jovic hat trick. Why not, right? At least 2. So you look here, 35% on the clean sheet for Zach Steffen. Austin, biggest dogs, only a 20% chance to win. Expected goals, 2.02. That is the second highest behind the Galaxy. And yeah, pretty interesting there. Yeah, that was Daniel. That was brutal. Not that I had any lineups that had any business doing it, but yeah, being one didn't have those 10 licensed clubs, so it was kind of brutal. So let's take a look at Colorado to start. Couple things I can share. Hopefully, I can share with Sorare Inside. If you have suggestions, definitely bring those suggestions. They do great stuff behind the scenes that they're trying to get everything in. So like, for example, I know everyone wants, instead of just selecting a team, doing it by league. So like in this, instead of doing a team, maybe it's up here, wherever it is, you click on that and then you go MLS or whatever. That is in the works as far as I'm concerned. And as far as I know, I mean, this page looks really nice. It's clean. And I like how the notes are like right here where like play sharp, you had to go through the comments. It's right here. So like you don't usually get as many of the questions, which is nice, but great stuff going on behind the scenes there. So I am happy. I hopefully can share that, but they are taking your considerations in there. So yeah, everyone hit the like button. Thank you, Daniel. And let's see. I only play the football version. I dabbled in NBA and MLB, but I just don't have time to really pay attention to it. It was just kind of like I was just setting the same lineups and not like, I don't know. I don't watch. I watch baseball a little bit. I'm a Pittsburgh Pirates fan. Haven't been good forever, but just not really into it. No Houston updates. It's a toss-up. I did put Tarbell in as a starter because we haven't heard anything. Like, no news kind of leads me to believe that he's not ready yet, but we haven't heard anything in like 2 weeks. It's been terrible. David, what's happened? David Ov, let's go. And having both lineups per match, not just team search. Yeah. So that would be another one as well. In their Discord, you can say like things that you want to suggest, and like they are doing really good things behind the scenes there. So definitely good stuff. So I'm going to fly through Colorado because there's not a ton of uncertainty. Bombito is with Canada. Still unclear if I didn't update this. Canada's squad, they were kind of listing like Russell Rowe was called up. Ali Ahmed was called up. I'm pretty sure Bombito's in the squad, but I'll have to recheck that. But other than that, there's no real kind of crazy people that are out or anything like that. They did have some serious rotation last match, but that was a while ago. Navarro will be back in. Don't worry about that. They are working on making that a full time. He is technically on loan. The buy option was $5 million. So I'm not positive there. I was going to say it's Hershey would definitely know that. That Bombito is in the squad. So appreciate that. I was pretty sure I didn't want to speak out that he wasn't. So he's not in this lineup. Abubakar would move in. Backline pretty straightforward. I think the only kind of thing that could happen is like if Calvin Harris will get a random start, but Ormir Fernandez and Kevin Cabral have been the starters and they've kind of locked down those positions. Ronan being back, Laraz would be the guy who's kind of out of the team, but he could be in 30% there. But other than that, pretty straightforward. So let's kind of bounce from there. Houston did get a number 9. We did hear that. That's interesting for sure. Let's see. Houston. I did put it in here right as it came in. Ponce, AK, Athens. 5 mil was the value on transfer market. DP/international signings, 27. I didn't get anything else in there at the time, but interesting for sure. Yeah, Sebas probably gone then. That kind of makes sense because he's a DP. He almost would have to be because they already have 3. Yeah, so Sebas has to be pretty much gone. That's kind of what I take from that. Could be wrong, but Any worries starting Carranza? Slight worries for sure. Let's go to Philly because there's a lot of uncertainty. As far as formation wise, so they play the 4-1-2-1-2, but I can't show it as that. That's not an option, and it's kind of like the workaround. So what we have going on here, I'm at 70%. Whenever I do my lineup build in a little bit, I'm not positive if he's going to go in my first. Like I feel like I like Jesus Ferreira a little bit better than him. Although it's a really good matchup against a D that hasn't been good all year. Plus they're missing their best players. I will be playing him for sure. It's just like I'm not as, I don't know. He's burned me a couple times from playing him, but there's no injury. And like the transfer thing, it's not like he's going to move to the club tomorrow if he signs the papers, but we could lose him if he like goes to sign the papers. But why wouldn't you wait for the midweek? I don't know. So that's something to keep an eye on. If that Feyenoord deal goes through, I mean, he's gone. He's definitely gone. But we're just kind of waiting for the timeline for that. I think he'll be good for this weekend. He's fully healthy, which is kind of what you need. I think Philly will try to get as much as they can out of him before he leaves and then kind of roll from there. But yeah, as far as the other just kind of talking points, McGlynn's 50% for this position. That's just if he would play like a more attacking role. Leon Flock should be as the defensive mid. Then it would be like either Bedoya, which usually plays the right, but either him or Sullivan sliding over in the midfield. But again, this is a 4-1-2-1-2, not a 4-4-2. Just kind of moves around. And the kind of big one would be Harriel. It's either going to be Harriel or Macania. I think it was one of the CONCACAF Champions Cup matches. Harriel played that right center back with Jack Elliott gone. Damian Lowe's in the Jamaica squad. He's not coming back. Andre Blake's in the Jamaica squad. He's getting healthier. Gosdog's at the Euros. So this is kind of a pretty brutal team. And Harriel and McGlynn were in a match on Tuesday. But with Curtin's press conference today, he talked about Harriel being in line for the starter. So that means that he's back for me. Don't know anything else other than that, but that's kind of what I'm going for. Next up, Kobe, we got Benteke. So let's go to DC. So the news today with Benteke, thank goodness we actually got some news. That's great to hear. I can turn my sound off for sure. Benteke is good. He's fit, which is great. But we heard some concerning things. I have him at 80%. He's 100% fit and should be good to go. That seems like starting to me. Should be good from the start. 100% fit. That seems a lot of good stuff for me. Aaron Herrera was hurt on international duty. He's going to be questionable. McVay is out in an additional 4 to 6 weeks. I think the original diagnosis was. What was the original diagnosis? So now he's out 10 to 14 weeks from May 28th. So he's out significant. Birnbaum is out indefinitely. So they have some center back issues. So it's probably going to be Tubb or Akambani. Tubbs played pretty well last match, so I think it'd still be him. But other than that, they have a lot of holes. Patola is back from international duty. They don't really have many options. Pretty straightforward. Other than that, should be a Benteke start. Any news on Morris? I don't have anything. He's going to play at least one more game. So Lewis actually in the chat gave some intel because he knows Middlesbrough, and it's always good to have some collaboration there. Preseason camp starts on the 24th, so the likely last match will be at home on the 23rd against Sporting Kansas City. So he went over there to do the papers. I'm not sure if he's back yet. It'll be cutting it pretty close, even if he comes back tomorrow. But, he's in great shape, I'm sure. But he was just with what? He was just with the under-23 at the Olympic camp as well. So it's a lot of things going on. I think he'll start that Sporting Kansas City, and maybe he'll play the midweek match. We'll see. I think that's a toss-up, but I just don't think he'll play this weekend. In my opinion, could be wrong. So I do have Zawadzki in there. The issue is they're playing at New York City FC, and it's a smaller field. his AA would be ridiculous in this match. And it's tough. Like, if he didn't get a transfer, this would have been an absolute smash AAA spot. Even on the road, he would just rack up so many different things as far as your AA value. I think McGlynn will smash at home. Yeah, I think a lot of Philly players are in for a good matchup. Should be in for a good matchup. Yeah, it's a good draw. It's an entertaining match for a friendly. Yeah, Duncan, none of them did. But yeah, Harriel did not look good at all. And for him to come in, he does not play right center back that well. That's for sure. RotoWire, they get their information, all the injury report. I think that's automatic stuff from Opta. So if it was like a source that wasn't maybe verified, that's the only thing that I can think of. Let's see. Who you feel can score better? McGlynn, Luna's on the road against Montreal, Jesus Ferreira, or Andres Gomez. I think the safest floor out of those guys is McGlynn, like by far. So if you're going to floor, I think McGlynn can score 65 just on AA. And I think he does have that upside. Jesus Ferreira, I like a lot. And then the RSL boys, they'll be good. You know, they are playing at Montreal. It usually is tough there, but I mean, they have so many injuries. It's absolutely absurd. Let's just look at Montreal because Red is out, Orange or whatever is questionable. You look at this team. I mean, look at their strikers. They've won. Opoku's coming back. He's in full training, which is good to see. I don't think he'll start, but kind of crazy. Yeah. So, yeah, I would go number one. I'll get Jack McGlynn because it's safe and it has that mix of AA and upside. And then Jesus Ferreira at 2. Andres Gomez is very goal dependent. He has been scoring like crazy. Luna does provide a little bit more AA, so it'd be a little bit of a toss-up. I do own Gomez, but definitely either McGlynn or Ferreira. I would go McGlynn 1, Jesus Ferreira 2. Whoop, keep hiding these. Yeah, Paintsel would be a sub. That's kind of what I got from that too. Bounced it off a few people as well. So definitely read that as him coming off the bench, which is good. So Maddie, what's happening? Let's go. Good morning to you. So hyped for the Euros. I know I'm like, I'm not from Europe or anything. And I'm hyped for the Euros as well. I'm hyped for this entire month. Any golf fans out there? US Open started today. Man, there's so much good. Who'd you captain between Lucho and Carlos Hill? I'd probably go Hill at home. It's really close. Let's go to the database here and see. It's just kind of a tiebreaker. I would lean Carlos Hill, but Lucho has been so good that it just makes it tricky. Lucho is listed as projected 76. That's crazy high. So going the opposite way here. Hill's down at 64, which is still good. 70 plus points, 75% on him. Interesting. And 60 on Lucho. I like Hill at home. I know that, they're not as good, but they're playing Vancouver, has to make the cross country and out of country trip. But Cincy, San Jose, man, I don't think you can go wrong because you're playing them both. Captain, I like Hill at home, but I think Acosta be fine to captain as well. I don't think I think you're splitting hairs there. Tim Parker only 60. He is not. Yeah. So the way that I do it, I like to show like what position they'll actually play. Cause like some guys don't play the left. Some guys don't play the right. What am I doing? I was thinking because they played them. All right. So he's got 30% here, 60% here. That's 90% total. I just add them together because Nielsen plays on the left and Yarrow plays on the right. So Nielsen, he had a knee knock and he was subbed because he was on a yellow and it was just precautionary in my opinion. So that's kind of why that is. So hopefully that helps you out a lot. Oh, you'll be in the stadium for Italy, Albania. So tomorrow, isn't there just Germany in my time? Is the next match just the Germany match, and then the following day is Italy? So like we're a day apart because I don't turn until tomorrow. So you'll be in the stadium for Italy, Albania. That's awesome. Beautiful lineups on Twitter. I'll check them. I haven't checked my Twitter DMs. I haven't done a Euro bracket. Basically, I'm gonna do a bunch of bets and stuff tonight, or maybe tomorrow morning. We'll see where we get. But I have it kind of who I think, but we'll see. And yeah, it's against San Jose. Yeah. Hugo Hill. I think you're splitting hairs there. Let's finish all the lineups for different fantasy. Love it. I put both in separate lineups and captain both. That's the best of both worlds there. And Pooj captain under 23. Yeah, I love Pooj. Okay, it's Friday for you already, 4:20 a.m. Okay, that makes sense. I got it. Okay, it's already the 4. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. You should get to sleep soon. I just started, so we're a little late here starting, and I haven't looked at any of my lineups, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, we're all up on the chat, so let's go back over to the fixtures. Let's take a look at Austin, because Austin does have some things. I mean, they're the biggest dog here, so you don't really want to play these guys to start with. But Colorado has conceded decent amounts. The big one is Jerussi. He's been full training for about 8 straight days. And he should be in the starting lineup. That's kind of what I took away from that. Bet365 is a group stage predictor, free to play. I'm in the US. Is Bet365 available in the US? I'm not positive on that. It used to not be. I haven't really followed. I have like DraftKings, I have FanDuel, BetMGM, a bunch of different ones. But I don't have a Bet365 account. Then the other injuries that were involved. Gallagher felt a grab, but he's been training all week and he feels good now. 70%, 30%. If he's good to go, he'll start. Finley's the other one. Re-aggravated his hamstring, but he's in good spot. But I just don't see him starting. I wouldn't start him. Cascante and Pereira are both part of Copa America squads. I believe I saw training pics of both of them training there, so they will not be here. So you should have Väisänen and Heinz Ike. Yeah, that was my question. I don't think we can, but times have changed. It used to not be able to, but could be wrong. And then Biro or Komanik on the other side. It's kind of just a toss up. They can go back and forth. So if there's any other Austin questions, I'll answer them, but I don't think we need to spend any more time on the biggest underdog on the slate. Let's get to the next highest, and this is the highest total, 2.14, LA Galaxy. There's a lot to like about this offense. Will they concede? Probably. It'll probably be like a 3-1. I mean, in a perfect world, it's like 4-1, but it's either going to be like 2-1 or 3-1, in my opinion. The injury updates from Greg Vanney. These were just straight quotes. Shout out Alex Ruiz helping us out, the beat writer. If you don't follow him, make sure. Paintsel fully involved in training during the past week. We talked about he'll see playing time on Saturday. That means off the bench. That's kind of what I've taken it. And then Brugman is in return to play / recovery mode. Hasn't been fully integrated. I have it 25%. It could honestly be lower than that. This is probably what you're going to see. Jalen Neal was with on international for the U team. So that's kind of why he isn't higher, because they have rotated. It's either been Caceres or him. Just kind of go back and forth. Other than that, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward team. I expect that stupid rotation again. We might see Mikovic in the midweek again. It's just, they did it last time. So I think they'll go all out on this one, you would think, and then rotate. But we'll see on that. Why is Minnesota odds so crazy against Seattle? I'm pretty high on Seattle as well. Yeah, let's get to that. I know Alex is in here for Sporting Kansas City. We'll talk about them, but yeah, 60% for Seattle is pretty high. I think this is a really good spot for Seattle. Just kind of, Minnesota is going to be on some tired legs. If we just take a look at Minnesota, because they are without guys. I know they've just overperformed time in and time out. So it's tough to see them at that big of a dog. But I do like Seattle. They'll probably let us down. But Olasei being gone, Carlos Harvey doesn't really matter. Brand doesn't really matter. But Dean Sinclair, obviously, Clint Irwin played pretty well last match. Rosales is serving his yellow card suspension. Tapias, we haven't heard if he's back or not. And then Lode, Pookie, Arriaga, they're all back with the team. But like the guys that's like Lode and Pookie, they've had some time to recover, but that's a lot of travel. They're going to be tired legs. And then that back line is solid, but I don't know. It's Seattle is going to turn it around. I'm still calling for Seattle to turn it around. Will they? Or like it's kind of, they're getting healthy, and I think that's going to be a scary thing. But again, that's kind of my thinking. I could be completely wrong on that one, as I usually am. A couple tidbits on them. This comment here, Schmetzer mentioned that he has to evaluate the striker position. That he didn't like how Rui Diaz played last match. That's a toss-up. Here's what I think. When De La Vega's back, which may never be, I think they might experiment with Morris back up top. And then De La Vega plays the left side, Rusnak, Roldan, Vargas, or Atencio, and João Paulo. That's kind of how I think they'll go. Yeah, that's kind of right now. Lineup's pretty straightforward. The only one that I could possibly see, I have Vargas at 75%. He just switched to Mexico. That's a shame for US. But Atencio is the only one coming back from injury that could kind of make them the lineup. And then Nuhu Tolo, he told Schmetzer he'd be back and everything would be good there, but he was in Cameroon. And the last match was on Tuesday. So that's kind of why Cody Baker has a slight chance to start. I could see maybe that happening, but not a huge difference there. Oh, Missouri still hasn't legalized. I feel like I had no idea. I just figured everyone. Yeah, Alex said 4-2. Nice. VPN. Maybe in the midweek doesn't. Oh, no, I wasn't talking about this, Diego. I wasn't talking about this game week. I was talking about the midweek. Yeah, it's going to be McCarthy. Don't get me started. Andy Black, what's up? Yeah, don't expect anything. Yeah, Vanny's doing whatever Vanny wants. I appreciate Can't Miss Me Live. Love to hear it. People legit park on that's crazy. Driving across straight lines and stuff. State lines, excuse me. So that makes sense why Bovada, Andy, you had to have legalize weed and gas station slots, but can't make a corner parlay. Crazy. That's absolutely insane. So yeah, let's go to Alex's Sporting Kansas City. Maybe if he sees anything that's slightly different, he's a team expert. I'm not. This is kind of just my takeaways from it. Danny Rosario was full training this week after missing with a hip injury, 60-40. There was links. The Chivas Guadalajara was looking at Castellanos, which is interesting. I just wouldn't think he'd be on their radar, but interesting. Shallowy's out a couple weeks. Should be Vargas starting. I could be wrong about like the positioning. Like Tommy, I feel like could be on a wing. I could have botched that a little bit. Yeah, that's. Other than that, the song could be a little higher. Maybe I'm a little higher on Leibold, but other than that, I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm going for. Can a man just bet on anytime score for Johnny Russell? Love it. De La Vega, they're putting bubble wrap on him. They don't want him to re-aggravate it. I think they rushed him back a little bit last time, surprisingly, but they're bubble wrapping him, which is a shame to see because, I mean, everyone's wanted to see him play from a neutral standpoint. We might as well pop into Atlanta. Nice. I've kind of been bouncing around. I had a lot going on. I always like to see where you are at as well. Same lineup. Love to see it. Let's get to the Guzan talk. We'll go down to Atlanta. Oh, man. To be fair, I don't really know. I just don't know. Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you, Packus. Didn't know. Hello to you. I don't even know what that means. on Twitch, over on Twitch. So Josh Cohen was dealing with back spasms. He was day-to-day. He did train today, which is Thursday. But I think the interim coach will lean Gasson. But again, this is just like I don't know, interim manager. Cohen wasn't great last match. I don't think you can blame them on him, but I'm slightly, I was going to be just 50-50. I'll go slight edge to Guzan just because this is probably his last season and it's Cohen's job next year. They might give him one more stab at it. But I don't know. We'll see. As far as the other ones, Gregerson got hurt again. He's been good when he's been in the lineup, but he just keeps getting hurt. So 2 to 3 weeks with a hamstring. Tyler Wolf is back in training. Wiley played Tuesday with the under-23s. Amada played friendly yesterday. I think I made this lineup. I should have said that. Tuesday, maybe. With the Argentina under-23s. Sliz is gone. Giacomakis is doing his medical at Cruz Azul. And then Luis Abram with Peru. I haven't checked that squad list. That was kind of next on my list, but I've had 1,000 things to do today, so Copa America is kind of like the last thing on my list here. I think we could see Mascara. I think Jean de Silva. He can play the left side as well. He's more confident on the left, but I'm not sure. Tiare up front. Rio seems like he's kind of the backup there. That's kind of what I'm going. Yeah, crazy trades for Alex. Great graph there. Steve Clark is out. We don't know if he's out or not. It's a toss up. I'm leaning towards Tarbell just because we haven't heard anything. You would think if he was, good to go in training and no restrictions, get Steve Clark a mask and let him play through it. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't have any information to back that up, sadly, which is a bummer for sure. Just because I know a lot of people. Steve Clark has been a really safe guy as far as he's been really good the last 2 years. So where do we leave off? New York Red Bulls. So there was some news today about Emil Forsberg. They're evaluating him tomorrow. Ooh, saw a picture with a mask. Now, will he play with that mask? That'd be cool. But again, I think 100 incoming Matt's Braun. Yeah. Like an all black mask, just put fear in the other team. Love to see that. Hey, good night, man. Enjoy the matches. Enjoy the Euros. If I don't talk to you, maybe I'll see you back here on Monday. Probably not. But it should be Mira again. Cornell, he shouldn't be coming back. Race is questionable with the foot. Lewis Morgan is 100% gone with this Scotland team. That's a cool call up. I didn't really see that coming. What about Ryan Gauld though? Right? He needs some love. The Scottish Messi. These guys still out. Doesn't matter. But the key here is Emil Forsberg is training individually today and will be reintegrated tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday. That is a pretty big risk. Schwartz said he'll make the decision tomorrow, Friday, if Forsberg will come off the bench or start. That makes me think off the bench, but maybe he'll make the decision that he's good to go. Wiki Carmona will be the guy that starts. Cameron Harper's form keeps him in the starting lineup for me. I got him 75% total, a little bit of right back spot as well. This other Nealis is Dylan Nealis. Now leave him back, need those peaks. Other than that, pretty straightforward with Lewis Morgan being out. Manuel and Van Zier should be up top, but Coach Schwartz had some nice things to say about Van Zier, which is surprising because he hasn't been very good. So maybe he can kick it around, turn it around a little bit. And other than that, pretty straightforward. They're playing Nashville. We talked about Joe Willis, but we didn't talk about the rest of the team. Again, we don't know if people are coming back. That's kind of why I put Schaffelberg on 10% because I don't know if he's coming back to play. We haven't heard anything. So Walker Zimmerman played with the Olympic squad. He should be back and playing. Shaq Moore with the U.S. team, he stinks. But, if he's back, I give him 30% just because he doesn't deserve to be on the team. So this is more of me just he is the worst player on that team by far. Anibal Godoy, do we know if he's coming back from Panama? I didn't list him. Just, I don't know. With Coco Carrasquilla coming back, maybe Godoy comes back as well. I couldn't find anything. I should probably put some percent in there for him to start. But like, if you have him, you're not playing him unless you're a psycho and it's your last spot. But that's kind of my thinking on that. Other than that, I think we see Yearwood, but he can play any of those spots. Alex Mule will probably play one of those spots. Boyd on the other. If Schaffelberg comes back, then that usually puts Mule out. But other than that, I think Wednesday we'll see those rotations again that are just kind of like surprising rotations. But we should be pretty straightforward with this. But again, I don't love Nashville. It's a tough matchup. Toronto. So we did talk briefly about them. Just the other key points. So we talked about Sean John, and I don't really know. I don't think he'll be back, but I guess I should include him here. As far as the other ones, I do need to tinker with this a little bit. I did have Marshall Rudy at 90% just because there's not really many options there. I mean, it could be Petretta, but as far as center back, they're not going to play Mabika on this line. They slide Petretta back to left center back, and then Long and Rosted. O'Neill's still out. And Gomes is suspended. On the right side, Bernadeschi is, it'd be nice if I spelled his name right, idiot. He would be on this right side. So Spicer would be on the left side. That's usually the starting. So that opens up for Marshall Ruddy. Marshall Ruddy is really talented. I did like whenever he was in the lineup, starting lineup. So that's kind of what I'm going for with that. Owusu has been training, which is good. He seems to have recovered from his injury, but it's still a toss-up. I have him 60% added here. I think Insigne is going to smash his face off here in this matchup. Just kind of my thinking there. As far as the midfield, Davy Flores came back for Honduras. Osorio is with Canada, Larea, Canada, and Sean John's with the U.S. So I don't know. I haven't seen it for sure that he's gone. But I just don't think he'll come back for this match, although he is the third keeper. So, like, in theory, I guess him coming back would make sense. But once you're in that camp, you're probably not going to leave just to get integrated with the team and everything. It just doesn't make sense to bounce back and forth. But that's kind of my thinking. Yeah, that's tough. You need him for your under 23. Like, if you don't have any other options, like I have him at 90%, I should probably bump that down and put the slight chance that Sean Johnson comes back. This is one of the teams that I definitely need to kind of tinker with a little bit. So with the earlier lock, I'll probably do it tonight before I go to bed. So that's Toronto. Chicago. Do we have to go? Is anyone playing anyone from Chicago? Shaqiri-less Chicago is a better Chicago. Who would have thought? Crazy, right? Sazikos is not injured, but we didn't hear if he was training. Yeah, Kuipers would be one. Yeah. I know I trashed Chicago, but they are actually in decent form. But other than that, unless you're playing Brian Gutierrez, don't really love any of these guys. I have a Chris Brady, and I'll be playing Chris Brady, so I kind of talked myself into that one. But we could see three in the back. So Mueller's coming back from injury. If he can't go, I would think this formation kind of slides to three in the back. But again, you're probably not playing these guys other than Kuipers, Gutierrez, maybe Kellen Acosta, but you're not loving it. Just kind of, I don't know, or Chris Brady, like myself, and not loving that. Let's go to Philly. We talked about Toronto. I don't know where to talk about Philly. Don't need that. Let's talk about Miami. All right, so Miami, they got the big guys out. We know that. I kind of think with Honduras guys coming back, David Ruiz slides into the midfield as a starter. instead of, I originally had Leo Afonso as starter, Taylor on the other side. Gressel can slide up to that right wing position. This kind of made the most sense to me. Redondo had adductor discomfort. He's questionable. Will they start him right away? I don't know. Gavin has a better matchup, but Schulte is definitely going to start. Coach kind of said that he would. I would probably go the safer. If it's like a priority lineup, I'd probably go the safer route in Schulte. But yeah, I mean, I can't talk you off playing Gavin either at the same time. So not exactly positive on that one. Other than that, I mean, Jordi Alba in there. Philly has struggled at home to score unless the other team gets a red card. So even though that Miami is undermanned, I think they still have a puncher's chance here. I like Philly's matchup, but Philly can let us down, which they have a lot lately. So that's interesting. Conceding 3 is the same as Sean John coming back. That does play it's considerable, like a 0 and conceding 3. I know it's like 20, you might get 25 points or whatever, but like, I guess that kind of makes sense. I know New York City's been scoring against a smaller pitch. I mean, 1.5 projected. Yeah, I think that's fair. Not having Morris in the midfield, that's pretty big to how they play as well. So yeah, you make a good point there, Alex. I mean, it's kind of, let's see what the projections say about the keepers here. So Gavrin's up here at 49 and Schulte's down here at 44. So as a projection, that's pretty big difference. Gavin has a 36% clean sheet. It's hard to ignore that upside for Toronto. It really is. And while we haven't seen Sean John, it's kind of what your risk assessment would be on that. As much as Schulte is safe in actually playing, would you rather not have the safety and have like upside for a clean sheet plus? Like if Toronto keeps clean sheet, Gavin can score 75. I mean, it's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. He's only 22. He has been doing it for like the last 2 years, though. Who's going to do anything for Montreal? That's a good question. Yeah, we'll pop it over to Montreal. I mean, look at this absolute morgue of a player situation. So a couple things, like Sirois was rotated. I don't know if that was more of Breza getting a shot because they've been in poor form or what that is. I think Sirois will be back in net, but it's a little bit sketchy there. It's, why does the MLS rotate goalies or whatever they're doing there? So kind of hate that, as always. Victor Wanyama, the DP player for Montreal, should be back in the starting lineup. Nathan Saliba, I actually like him. I think he is talented for sure, but the back line's, it's solid. I mean, Waterman scores well, as Alex says. Yeah, 30s all over with a clearance off the line for Waterman. Yeah, Bryce Duke, Yankov probably starting, and then Ibrahim has actually been really good for what it's worth. And then maybe if we see an Opoku sighting off the bench, that would kind of lift the squad. But this is an absolute corpse. They got a tough matchup as well. If you look there, looking at RSL, they're the almost 50% favorites on the road, which is almost unheard of. Even Inter Miami doesn't usually get that big of an edge, but rightfully so. It's hard to see anything other than that, but it is MLS, and these are the type of matches that you're like, oh, RSL has this huge win streak, huge unbeaten streak, and then Montreal somehow wins 1-0. But yeah, let's hope that's not the case. Houston. Houston, we have a problem in net. We have talked about that. Other than the net part, Coco coming back kind of pushes everyone around. Latif Blessing would have been the one that starts. So whenever he's gone with Panama, it should be Latif Blessing entering the starting lineup. You could see like Blessing on the left side here, Ibrahim up top, Kowalczyk over on the right side. So that's kind of what the rotation will be there. Hector Herrera, I think this is a pretty good spot for him. He's underrated. I did write about him a little bit. Again, I went Tarbell over Clark, but we don't really know other than, I guess, a few of you have seen pictures of him in a mask. I just don't know. I just don't know if they'll wait a little bit longer. Please give us just some sort of information. That'd be great. But yeah, that's a little rough there. Charlotte. The midfield's always tough for Charlotte. Usually they have a rotation system, but now Veronica played back-to-back matches. Everyone was in training. Even Diop, who's looking for a move. He has transfer rumors, pretty good transfer rumors. Abada, I mean, he's starting to turn it up. I like to see that. Hopefully he can continue it. Vargas on the other side. Ajimon. I'm interested to see what they do this summer. They do have some money to play with. Some open spots to play with. I think Diani back in the lineup after Urso played the last match. They do like Urso, though. It's kind of confusing there. Westwood, Baronico, like I said. One guy that didn't have on here is Ben Bender. I think they're going to keep easing him in, but he's one to watch because they have started him off here and there. And then that left back position, Pedro was pushing before he did have a knock and missed the last match. He was pushing for a starting job. So is that really his picture? Man, they did him dirty there. So yeah, that's the face of someone that could be losing their starting job here soon. That's tremendous. And Charlotte's playing DC. So already brought up DC. Don't need to talk about them. New York City FC. We have a lot of things going on, but since it's a Friday match, hey, we got injury reports. Let's go. You'll love to see it. I kind of updated everything underneath here. Thiago Martins is out, rolled out. So Tanasiewicz, yeah, sure. Should start. If not, we could see maybe Sands slide back in a center back role for the U.S. men's national team. He's slid back there. O'Toole is good to go, should be good to go, which was surprising based on the early sub. If Sand slides back, Pereira would slide in beside Parks. Adrian Martinez, I have him at 70% total. He could start up top, and it's kind of, there's competition there. Bakrar, Mijatovic, however you say it, as well. But that 3 goals off the bench, you got to reward him with the start. Julian Fernandez started last match. So some toss-ups there. Malachi Jones has a chance, but just kind of seems, and they're taking it easy with Maxi Morales. Maxi Morales was great last match, but Cushing said that they're going to ease him into action, so that kind of takes him out of starting. Jay Blaze was happening. Tavon Gray playing tomorrow. He is with Jamaica. I don't know if he's coming back, so I have him at 10% just because, yeah, there's a chance, but I don't think he'll come back based on Damian Lowe didn't come back. And like Philly needs him bad. So it's kind of, I don't think he'll be back. But again, we don't know if these guys are coming back in between or just staying with the national team. So it is a little bit tricky with that. I have a Tavon Gray and I'm not playing him. I haven't done my lineups, but for me, I would not play him. But I could be wrong on that one. And we talked about Columbus already. I mean, I don't think we need to go through anything major about the more situations, what we talked about. Marrera is coming back from international duty. That's why there's a slight difference there. 70% on Zawadzki. Rica Man, what's happening? We don't have an update on Steve Clark, sadly. I would assume it's Tarbell again. Like if I'm a Steve Clark holder, I don't know if I can start him just because it's brutal. Is Gray starter? Gray won back the starting position. Now it's going to be interesting if Illinois gets into form and kind of, I don't know. But Gray was playing really well with the team. So I do think he kind of is getting back to that starting role, but they are high on Illinois. Am I scooping a Morris? I thought about it, but I don't know. I'm still holding off. I'm not really buying anyone at the moment. Maybe I should. J-Blaze last. Oh, Jamaica's roster. Was that the legit roster? Because there's errors on that. What was the big error? So I'll recheck for sure beforehand. But which one was the player that he said he's done playing for Jamaica and they listed him on the roster or something? I think it was a fake list. Anybody said he was selected. It's a mess. It's a mess. Yeah. Okay. So I was pretty sure I was on the right page with that. There was Bailey. Yeah. Bailey was the guy. Yeah. There we go. Bailey put it on like Instagram. He's like news to me or something, like that he was selected. And I'm not really sure what's happening there. Hopefully we get something on who's actually playing. Oh, it's a real list. Okay. It's a real list, but some players aren't reporting. Okay. So that is a mess. Gotcha. Okay. So people got called up and are just not going to go. Gotcha. That's why it was a mess. Because I was like, I could have sworn Bailey said he's not going to play, but I guess you can call up whoever you want, just if they won't report. That's hilarious. Thanks for that insight. Yeah, I did see they called up Blake. 4 goalkeepers because you need them, right? Like, man. Oh, man. Copa America, baby. Dallas. As far as the odds, they're kind of down on the list here just because the current. I read about it in my article. It's hard to see some of these guys. I know they have holes and they have some aging guys. Tafari getting benched after his red card. I know he's done some stupid things, but like Gonzalez is not it. He's just not good. Like start your guys that give you the best opportunity. New manager though, so new manager bump. I do think they're going to go out and win. If you look at their 42%, and they're playing Andy Black's St. Louis. Tough, right? Tough. But I don't know. Catching up here. Any news on Blake though? Needing for my Copa. He's still healing up, so like he's not even ready yet. But yeah, I don't know. It's the timing, I guess, would put him. I don't know. It's tough because he's healing in Philly or wherever he's healing. I assume Philly. I guess he could join the team, but Curtin said he'd be shocked if he played Jamaica. Yeah, Curtin had a great presser today, and like, I forget who the outlet that he literally listed like the quotes from it, and it was great information that we had. No one knows with Dallas. Yeah, it's a new manager. We can get anything. Pray for 4 at the back. Yeah, I think that would make sense. I think that would make a lot of sense to kind of just get out of this, but with not knowing, it's pretty brutal. Yeah, these rumors they got some legs to them for sure. On the number 9 coming in. No news on Clark Francis. Sorry, I wish it did. Yeah, saw someone posting their Jamaica team. I don't know what you do on that. It would be a miracle. Yeah. That's great. Gray not posting Jamaica's Instagram squad. So I mean that's a mess. With all this going on, I'll have to look into the situation myself as well. But I don't know. It seems like a mess, and like if he wasn't kind of put in there, then who knows? An X squad, and I mean, yeah, 2 different ones floating around. That's just crazy. Red or Dead, any LAFC? Let's bounce to them. Let's bounce to them. This is tough. What would make sense to me, but again, I'm not the manager, is like a 3-5-2. The people that are out make this a tough one because they don't have David Martinez. He's still injured, so like they don't really have a winger that can play the spots. Christian Oliveira, with his form, he got called up for Uruguay. Great for him. And Timothy Tillman with the U.S. So like I don't see either guy coming back to play. Could be wrong. But with those guys out, this would be like their best squad for me to play your 3 center backs. Chanot was with Luxembourg, but he's back. Aaron Long. I don't love Aaron Long, but he's probably playing pretty well. Maybe the best out of the 3. I think you could make a slight argument for that. Campos was with Mexico under 23. It seems like with Hollingshead back, I know Hollingshead didn't play the last match, but it was just kind of easing him back. With him back, they have been going with Palencia. So that's kind of why I slid Campos out again. And then it's like Duenas or Segura played that one match when Illy was out, which was weird. So I did put the chance for him, but I mean, I wouldn't do that. But you could see Duenas in that kind of Tillman role, maybe a slightly different role, but in that spot. And then maybe play 2 strikers or, neither are kind of like a striker, but 2 kind of wings up here as guys kind of moving forward. But Buengo, he's back. I don't know. That's just kind of be interested to see how other people do it, but that's just kind of my thinking. I think Chanot would be the one who would be out. Maybe Murillo and Long would be the 2 center back formation. But again, we're just kind of trying to figure out some things that are definitely tricky. The Revs. I think did I miss them? No, I missed St. Louis. St. Louis than the Revs. I think we see something very similar to what we just saw. The only difference is Durkin's out with yellow card accumulation, which means Blom should be in there. I don't see any other changes maybe being made. Kojima, yeah, maybe he's out. Maybe they switched formation up a little bit, but I just don't see any of that. Could happen, but I just kind of doubt it. Pretty straightforward. Maybe some rotation on Wednesday because they did have that crazy rotation last time. Yeah. If they went 2 strikers, Adeniran up top, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Would be kind of like the only change. So a few mids hurt. Yeah, Ostrak and Rasmus Alm as well. Ooh, Nielsen more of a 50-50 as well. So he had that knee knock and he was on a yellow as well. But so it should be Parker and Yarrow. Andy, is that who you would think it would be? Parker on the left, Yarrow on the right. I would think. So that is interesting as well. So I'll probably dock him because, again, I like hearing from actual fans that know a lot more than I do maybe about an individual team. Full practice. That's good to know as well. Tottenham starting. Tottenham's been good. He's been good. Good addition. Yeah, New England. Don't hate you, New England. Yeah, they were babying him really bad earlier in the season there, where it was just like, when's he going to start? Polster's the one who's yellow card accumulation for them, so we'll probably have Harks. They just don't start Noel Buck, which he played a lot last year, and then I just don't know what they're doing there. Barak Tervis will be back. Boateng had that game-winning goal, so that's kind of why I put him as 65% for Barak Terovic. Boateng has a chance. Other than that, Romney seems to be now the starter with decent form. And then Kessler would be the one that would be the rotation there. Other than that, pretty straightforward. And New England's playing Vancouver. So Vancouver, I always struggle with this lineup. Full transparency, I struggle with the lineup. Interested to see. Interested to see what they sent out there, just because they've done some weird rotations. It's Hershey is a Vancouver fan, and he would know more on it than me. Ali Ahmed, late call up. They kind of called up Russell Rowe and him to Canada's Copa squad, so that's pretty solid. So I think Raposo, I have him in the left. I think Martins will start at the left, if not Raposo there. Javian Brown has played right center back, so he has chances here. He has chances here. They've done a lot of rotations. Fafa Pico coming back from Haiti. He was good on Haiti duty. Berhalter had the goal last match, so I think he's kind of warranted to start again. And I think Pico, maybe they change the formation slightly in the midweek, so he starts coming back as well. So Sam is close to returning to the squad, but I haven't seen anything other than that. They're hoping after break he would kind of get integrated. So at that either left wing or left wing back spot, that's something to watch for sure. They want to get him, and Kubas would be another one with Paraguay. He should be in that squad because I haven't looked at it, but he should definitely be in that squad. It's another one. Will he come back to play this match? I just don't know. I don't think, but yeah, that's Vancouver and Nashville under Gary Smith were the two that I've struggled with. And yeah, Sartini just you don't really know what he's thinking. Keeps you on your toes. So I'm glad you're in an agreement with that, because someone will just come out of left field. I'm like, I don't know what the rotation is here, which can be tricky for sure. Orlando hosting LAFC. We talked about LAFC. Facundo Torres in some transfer rumors today. What do we have? Ajax was one of them, and the other one would have. I can't remember who the other one was, but I don't know what they're watching, because he's been terrible this year. He's been stinkering. I don't know. He just doesn't look engaged from what I've watched. I don't know. Could be wrong on this. Formation-wise, I'm going to go with the 4-4-2. You have... yeah, Duncan. I hope he goes. Yeah. I kind of do as a holder as well. Need new DPs. I like that. Yeah. Brecalo, he's gone for Euros. Gillespie gone. Yeah, and a new manager. Yeah. Stajuhar should be in net. Yeah, you can kind of meddle with some pieces. The coach doesn't like Ojeda. We've talked about that on the stream. I love getting the insight from you guys. So Ladera should be the starter there. Two strikers make sense. I mean, why not play them both? They're two of your better players. Makes sense. Other than that, Rafael Santos, I have an 80%. It could be less, because he would be probably the guy that drops out if it's a different formation. But interesting matchup against LAFC. Can they hold down home field? I don't know. LAFC's been in good form. San Jose hosting FC Cincinnati. Bruno Wilson twisted his knee last match. He's definitely a doubt. I have him at 30%. Could be lower on him, honestly. Should see Tanner Beeson start again. What could go wrong? What, he'll probably get another red card or something, or error led to goal or something like that. Another transfer window, same transfer saga. Yeah, who knows? They were negotiating a new deal for him. Duncan, I don't know if you have more insight into that. I didn't really see anything else with that, but I did see a negotiation there. Guerezo is with Ecuador for Copa America. I don't think he'll be back, but again, just like the other guys, we just don't know. Sikaris should be the starter there in that role. Other than that, pretty straightforward team. Yeah, don't really see anything else there. And then FC Cincinnati. A couple little tidbits that we got. Miles Robinson, will he come back? he is probably going to miss a ton of matches because he is one of the overage players possibly as well at the Olympics. So he might miss so much time, which would force Hagelin. And if Hagelin doesn't go, it'd be probably Keller. Ian Murphy missed the last match just as a rotation. He should be back in. Yeah, I didn't update this. Let's see. Let's go to FC Cincinnati. Laurel's usually really good about everything. But what I did here was Corey Baird was not a hernia, but he's still managing some discomfort. So that just kind of makes me think, I mean, he's not going to start right out of the gate either. So any of Baird holders, he should be close to returning, which is kind of good to hear. But yeah, it makes sense. I mean, that he wouldn't stay. I was kind of shocked that he's like, that was just a brutal situation. I just can't believe that. Like, hey, we're going to sell you, but at the same time, maybe come back. And our last team here is RSL. So RSL, road favorite. You got to think there's going to be goals in this match. Good matchup for sure. Orongo, it just kind of depends. Is Matty Crooks going to start? I prefer Anderson Julio. He'll start up top, and then Orongo sit underneath him. The other possibilities, I didn't have Bodie Hidalgo in here. That's kind of one change that I need to give him a little bit of a chance, but he is coming back from injury. Quinton's played pretty solid whenever he's been in there as well, so I did give him a little bit bump there. But outside of that, you've had some pretty consistent starters around him. So all those other guys. With McMath, it should be McMath. And then Wednesday seems like another Beavers, right? I think we can all agree there. It just kind of seems that rotation, midweek match, Beavers, weekend, back to McMath. Hopefully we can stay on that trajectory and not get that one wrong. So as you have any other questions, definitely hit them up. I'll definitely be looking as well with any information I missed. I've tried to go through Twitter searches and stuff, and I just can't find things on some of these guys. So, yeah, tough there. So, if you have any questions, go ahead. I'm going to switch over to my lineups here in a second, but we'll go from there. Are we going nuts for Euros? Is everyone playing Euro lineups? Locked and loaded? I don't have a goalie. So in theory, I could have made some lineups here. It just, with the prices, it didn't make sense to buy a goalie for, I'd rather just sit from the sidelines. And in theory, I probably should have sold some of my players because, I have some guys that I could definitely play. But again, I could play All-Star with them as well. So it's not like a total loss. Yeah, I would love to play it, but I think it's smarter for my gallery not to like overreach and kind of go it's Hershey, just MLS boys. Let's go. So I do have Hadel, but he's not going to start. So don't have to worry about that. To Kuiper starting, that's awesome. I will be playing him like an all-star. The training lineup was released. DeLitt was in that training lineup at practice today at 4-2-3-1. So I'm thinking he starts, which would be nice. Not having Mbappe and Griezmann makes me feel inadequate. Yeah. No keeper for Red or Dead. Yeah, that's tough for sure. Yeah. I think I would have a half decent lineup, but as Andy said, like if you don't have these big guys, especially with rare prices, like you can get into it. I don't have a mid either. Gazdak won't start. But at forward, I have Doku. So it's better to just, for me, play All-Star or, play him elsewhere instead of I would have to buy a goalie, which they're ridiculously expensive or overpriced. Like Castiles is going Saudi, and he's so expensive. And plus, I'd have to buy a midfielder, and probably an extra, and it still wouldn't compete. So it didn't really make sense for me. So I'll stick to what I know. I do like under 23 this week. But the issue shouldn't be an issue. This is a good match, Tokyo Verde for Osako. He should be back for Japan duty and not have any issues there. I would think he's a goalie. Should be fine. 45% there. I would like to see this higher. This seems like a really solid. I know his L15 is 40. It's not good, but I would like to see that higher. But below, you got one limited. Neuer, Kimmich, TAA, Saganov, and that's a great team. Sounds pretty great to me. I even thought about getting a limited team, but at the same time, you're just not going to pay that back on 3 games. This is better long term. I even think I probably should have sold or should sell some of these guys, but I never sell. I just hold on to till they're dead. So yeah, I do like playing under 23. I think under 23 it makes sense. Osako, the Sanfrecce boys have just been. I think I nixed them and made them bad or something because they haven't been great. But they did play in the cup, and they won, I think, 11-2 in the midweek, which is pretty hysterical. But yeah, I can't believe that. But playing De Kuiper makes sense, and Doku in a lineup in under 23, and then putting Ricky Puig makes sense. That's a pretty legit team. But does Sanfrecce have a double game week too? Oh, 25% profit. Yeah, we take profits all day. That's great. I wouldn't know about taking profits, but if you have a chance, that should be a nice link. Yeah. Love it. That's thinking outside the box too. I love lineups that you are thinking outside the box. Pickford is priceless. I don't think they have a double game week. I don't know. They're showing 2 different things. That's why I was. Oh, they do, but it's Marinas. So he's going to start one of them. I just hope it's the first one. Hopefully. Tokyo Verde was the team that got promoted. So they do have a double game week. Wow, they just play every single game week almost. So yeah, I'm going to probably roll out. I think under 23 is good to attack because some of the under 23s, no one's going to play Bellingham in under 23, right? They're going to play him in the Euros competition. But that's my thinking. Hopefully I'm right. But whenever everyone just has all their stud under 23s in here and we're just dead, then so be it. But again, I like playing De Kuiper in here. Ricky and probably Santi would be the other one. Jesus Ferreira, or we could throw Doku in here as well. I like that. Oh, they changed the. I'm not even thinking, right? They changed the dates of the game weeks, right? So this is a different. So that's why more are. Or wait. Because I actually don't know. Does anyone have that answer? Because MLS plays Wednesday, 14th through 19th. So is there a double game week for MLS? Or are those games on the 20th? Man, I didn't even think about this. Let's see if I can pull something up. Stupid hard. 1.7%. Avoid Europe goalkeepers like a plague. Yeah. Thank goodness MLS week. Okay, it's on Wednesday. So these are Tuesday matches that are okay. So the crossover. Andy Black. I didn't either. I was I knew there's Mitsu to get a start. Please God. I'm glad we're going through this now because I would have had a complete panic attack. which would, I mean, I would actually, it would take some of the guesswork out if it was a double game week for MLS, but like some of these scores have been insane, I feel like. All right, so that changes something. 14th to 19th. Why don't you just look up here, idiot? Yeah, he did play midweek. That's kind of what. Yeah, I wouldn't think you'd start the weekend. I didn't realize they did double. So I guess I'm gonna have to throw him in here. I like Jesus Ferreira a lot. I mean, he does put up AA. But like Jack McGlynn, I like this week too. So, man, I'm struggling with. Do I play Doku here? Man, interesting. Who's my favorite dark horse? Yeah, a lot of people are saying not Uruguay. Jeez, Ukraine. Yeah, Turkey's a pretty popular one as well. Solid on Turkey. Duncan, you like Denmark? Yeah, Denmark plays good tournament. Have good tournament runs. Honestly, once we hit like the semis, I think it's gonna be pretty chalky. I don't think we'll have the Iceland, the Wales type of thing, but probably just wrong on that. I love seeing those for sure, but we'll see. Boy, I mean, Santi, I like as well. I mean, I have Carranza, McGlynn. I have a lot of. I mean, is it like this for everyone? Just you get a AAA, you get a AAA. I know I have double players here of a lot of them, but like, I don't think I've ever had this many AAAs in a game week, all in under 23. Austria and Ukraine, good shout out there. Austria's under the radar. Man, that just seems like MLS is a lot of under 23, or in general, I guess maybe. What do we think, guys? I'm struggling here. I got to go to the other sheet here to see who's projected more. So Santi slightly above. He's at 59. Doku at 68. Andres Gomez is 72 against Montreal. I mean, they're all good matchups, but Jesus Ferreira is actually down at 59, but I do like him, so I'm gonna stick there. Man. Okay, I was gonna say there's got to be a reason because these don't seem like all AAA matchups. All right, so there's matches missing in the builder. Okay, all right. Okay, the international guys. So I probably should be scrolling through to see if anyone's missing down here. Yeah, Turkey, no one to score. Makes sense. Are you a sucker for pain? Man, you just bought Guzan? Oh, man. Uruguay for Copa, yeah. Yeah, that's a nice shout. I mean, outside of I feel like everyone's a dark horse outside of Brazil and Argentina. I haven't really dug too in depth. We're going to do a pod on Copa America here, coming up here next week. That I gotta go through and running behind on some stuff. D10 hours. Yeah. Love to hear it. Yeah, I feel like playing Doku makes a lot of sense as well. Man, I'm struggling here. Santi was great. Columbus, I mean, is good, but not having Morris in the midfield makes sense. I'm probably gonna go Doku just because I think that upside of him, he's just walking AA. I haven't looked too much into Belgium's lineup. Does anyone know? I assume he's projected to start. I mean, they're playing Slovakia. I'll get their arm in there. And then Ricky Pooge. Yeah, we'll go with that. And I'll tinker, and I'm sure I'll change it. as always, as is tradition. All right, in season, we're gonna roll Philly. All right, Red or Dead, thanks for staying up. Good luck to you as well. New season, Semla makes sense. Projected start. Thanks, Diego. I assumed he would be, but I haven't went too far outside of my MLS element in the last like 2 days. Yeah, we're gonna keep that. Not playing Pooj is different in this lineup, so and not playing. Yeah, there's some interesting. This will be a little bit different. So like I could play Santi. I'm gonna play McGlynn, but my extra might be a little bit different here. So do I run with Carranza? I'm probably going to, just because he's in a great spot as long as he starts, and even if he comes off the bench, maybe he scores. To be honest, I don't love playing Semla here, but as far as goalkeepers, I don't really have another choice. And then out of anyone, can we just play two Kais? Santi Rodriguez makes a lot of sense to slide in here, but Andres Gomez would be a solid play as well. Mikel Ura, he stinks. Aha, Brose with his Colombian friends. You love to hear the insight. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I back-to-back Friday night in New York City. Why did they not do more Friday night lights, baby? Like, I love that they're playing Friday night games. Vargas going an all-star for you? Nice. Man, it's just I'm gonna go Santi for now. I mean, Kai's been so good. McGlynn could score really well. I think I'm gonna go Kai for now. 89 in season. You gotta love to see that. Gotta love to see that. Do I go one more in season, or do I go straight to all-star? Carranza or Boanga for in season? Man, Carranza's in a good opportunity, but like Boanga is so safe. Just depends how risk adverse. I kind of like Boanga. If picking between the two, probably Boanga. Yeah, probably Boanga. So I got 3 keepers left, and all of them in the 20% range. So that's it's going to be those 2 lineups or nothing. It seems to be because like I have that Kai, I have a show. Man, that's. Is this a game week? Does anyone know? Is this more than one All-Star? I don't think, right? It's going to be a shame. Or what? Challenger should be, or Contenders open. I could play these guys in Contender as well. Do I have a Contender goalie? Because that changes things. I don't think I do. Because I played Osako in under 23s. Yeah, so I guess that takes it out. So in theory, I'm weakening some of these lineups, but I also want somewhere to play these guys, like show. So probably my all-star team is going to be these guys. Or you just buy a keeper. Because I do want to keep Osako in my under 23s just because that's what I'm prioritizing. So if we go show and then we go like Savio, who's their double game week? I guess it does make sense to take a look at that. So they play Sanfrecce. At Gamba and Sanfrecce. What about Wakazaka? So they got Vissel Kobe. That's not good. And then who they got? Alberex both away. All right. 87 with Newick Math, Glesnes, Lucho, Bogush, and Carranza, Buanga, or Julio in season. Nice. Love to see it. A lot of good options here. think Barrial just got subbed off due to injury today. Did anyone see that? Anyone know more about that? I think I saw that. I got an alert that he got subbed off like in the 51st minute or something. You never love to see that. I think I'm going to go Savio. Just kind of makes sense. Guess I can pick a goalie. It's just, I might as well just play a DNP goalie because these three are just not great. So do I play the other side for the calendar? And if Philly doesn't go off, maybe I have a run back. Schlegel, always good to concede a PK. That makes a lot of sense. It's sad, but it makes a lot of sense. It's like Schulte. I just don't. Schulte will not be a very good play, but let's consult the sheet, I guess. Who's the best out of a bad bunch to play? Brady. We got Brady as the highest. Interesting. 20% clean sheet. You love to see that. He's going to hit AA as long as he doesn't concede. It's basically just picking who is not going to concede 3. Toronto, I think Insigne could score 3 himself. Philly, you got to think they're going to score. They have a nice implied total. New York City on the small field. I mean, Schulte looked very shaky. He kind of, that ball was kicked right to him, and then he just kind of pooped it out right to the guy in front. He tapped it in the under 23s. So I'll go Brady. I'll trust the process. But that kind of just like kills this lineup. And then forward wise, like Ohashi makes a lot of sense to just kind of put all these guys together. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna, because I can't play him elsewhere where I can play the other guys in the other 2 lineups. This is probably not good strategy because I'm kind of in effect weakening teams, but then I kind of like playing Kai here. I feel like that's not the worst idea. Throw him in here, and then do you captain him or show? 79. Yeah, I figured they'd be the same AAAs. That double game week, he has 2 chances at it in theory. He hasn't been playing well, though. Good match. Could go Kai. But again, I'll probably change it. Let's see if I can do another in-season. Try and get some ETH. Yeah, he was awful with his feet. He was just awful with everything. It was just not great to see. Just not great. Multiple times, yep. Okay, I guess I go Schulte here. And then play Yamar. Does that make sense? Probably. Harrell is a center back. I don't really want to play him. Hey, absolutely. Have a good night, Alex. Appreciate you coming in, as always. Baez is going to start, but nah. Yeah, that's a really good point. No Choinier. Columbus as well. Different. Yeah. Very true. So we need to go all in seasons. I mean, I guess I could play Atuesta, Bedoya, Kramashi if I really wanted to. Atuesta against Orlando. I mean, he hasn't scored very well, though. It's nice to have all these guys playing. Could play Saliba. I'll probably play him in cap 240 or something. Bilal, thanks for coming in, as always. Appreciate you. Have a good night. Could play Quinn Sullivan. I don't know, that midfield spot. It almost kind of is turning me towards not playing in season with this lineup. I mean, Ajiman's in a good spot, but at the same time, yeah, I'm not going to play in season. I'll go classic, even though this classic isn't as good. Oh, not contender. There we go. So we'll go Schulte. I mean, probably still like Yamar, though. Yeah. Go Yamar. Jack McGlynn now. I mean, it just makes the team a lot better. Throw Caron's in this one as well. And Andres Gomez as well. Yeah. Just seems right. And Jack, my boy. Yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, tougher to compete there, but just kind of makes more sense. So I want to play 240 and try to grind because I have some low cap players, which makes sense. I kind of might get a 240. Rebels versus Nashville. What about them? Rebels have the highest clean sheet odds on the slate. Could be missing some guys. I feel like that's like a 1-0 or a 0-0 match or like a 2-0. I don't know. It's tough to see there. Yeah, I agree with Caceres playing and Neal. It's kind of tough. I feel like Neal starts, but there's a significant risk that you don't really want to take. Don't really want to have to take. So 240 a lot lately. I've just not been playing a goalie. And like, again, is it worth playing Calendar at 44? Instead of just like throwing Holden Trent in there. But I have some low caps that could be interesting. Who does Racel play? Is their double? They play Sinfretch. I already looked at this. You idiot. Losing some steam here. So like playing Tolkien makes sense. He's back. He should be back. I don't know actually for sure. Like Illinois should start 37. I have some low caps. It's just, I don't know. Could play any of these guys. Like Barrera. Johannes, what's happening? Good to hear from you. Any news on Schaffelberg? I haven't seen anything, whether or not he's going to be back or not. It's really tough unless like you get training pictures that he's in. I don't think we're going to know before the lock, sadly. Sorry to hear that. Or sorry to tell you that. Boy. Play Abada and Vargas. It's a shame all their players are forwards and Najee, they're all forwards. I'm going to go keeperless. I feel like in cap 240 and just try and scrape it. I don't know. Go for $15, call it even. Yeah, Brozic should play it, but at the same time, I don't know. Do have good cap guys. We'll see what it gives us. I don't think I have like the upside of these guys though to get it hit like 340, but yeah. So like playing Glesnes makes sense. Maybe I play Glesnes. 52. Yeah, I feel like he's really safe for cap. Wakazaki usually solid on the AA. But tough matchups. I could play Fernandez, but 55. That's west of 49, 48. Dylan Barrera at 41 kind of makes a lot of sense. He doesn't have that safe floor, but I mean, he was in good opportunities. Man, I guess Zardes. Zardes has a better chance of getting minutes than Sebas Ferreira. I'd probably go Zardes, but you don't feel great about either for sure. Like this, they're playing FC Cincinnati, but I mean, Saliba, I know they're playing RSL, but it kind of makes sense as a 27. Like, but at the same time, like, I don't have any guys that are huge. I could play Mitsuda and he starts the other one, but he's not going to start this one, and that's the one you want him for. So that's why it's a shame. But I kind of like playing Vargas. He's on sets. Abada and Vargas maybe put them together, but that's still 77 left, which is absolutely insane. So that maybe once maybe change it around a little bit. Instead of playing Saliba, playing, I can play anyone. Fernandez has been good for Boca. Boca's playing Velez, right? He's solid. I mean, he hit that 100, but other than that, he's been like a 55-ish player. So it kind of makes sense to just kind of lock him into cap, and that's kind of what you want. You'd rather have 60, obviously, but if you can get you 55, maybe. I don't know. Torres on sets, but you don't love him. I don't know. Guess we go this. Gives us 1 point remaining. It's not great, but it could hit 270, right? And captain. I don't know. Do I go safe or do I go upside? I'm going to go Glesnes. I feel like it's pretty safe. Although, I don't know. Could go any of these guys for sure. That's tough. Captain decision doesn't make as much. I mean, it does, but I don't know. I'll change it later. I'll just go Glesnes for now and see what percent. I don't have many players. Would it be better as the extra player? Edelman, Neal, or Barry? I would say Edelman. Edelman's 90% to start. He should start, and just 100% I'd start him. If Mitsuda starts a guaranteed 50, yes, but on the road against Marinos, I don't know. I mean, in theory, yeah, but I don't know. That makes sense, but at the same time, I don't know. We'll just go with this for now, and then I'm sure I'll tinker. That's it then. I don't have another goalie, so I don't think, right? Used them all. Yeah. So I guess I don't think I have any other goalies that are starting, right? No. So I guess just kind of leftovers. What about captain, Jovic or Delgado? Jovic doesn't really provide AA, where Delgado would provide a little bit more AA, but I think I'm higher on Jovic. Get Klitsch, yeah. Other than that, I think we hit kind of everything. If you have any last-minute questions, remember the game week starts an hour earlier. I have to remember that for myself. So hour earlier start, pretty important. Trying to think of anything else. I'm glad we looked for the double game week. That kind of changes some things for sure. But other than that, enjoy the Euros tomorrow. If there's no questions, I'm pumped. Need to get some bets in tonight. I always like to do some exotic bets, to sweat. One of my favorite, if you're going to do anything, and this might not happen, but France and France and England to both win their group is plus 110 odds, so that's 2.1 in decimal. I mean, I don't see how that loses, but you never know. Could. I think that's going to be my biggest play, but we'll see on that. So, surprising guest. With me being on for the summer, I have been tuning in, so I can't wait to see you on there. Let's go. Love to see it. The international king himself. Glad to hear it. Here we go. Just Heat. His schedule is huge, so if you don't follow him, make sure you follow him. Just posted an update, so check him out on Twitter. It's the same handle. Pretty sure. Update me if I'm wrong. Definitely worth that, because that's big with all these changes. So, anything else last minute? If not, I'm gonna ride into the sunset, and I guess midweek. So back Monday, and we'll do it all over again. Okay, yeah, why not? All right, hey. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. We'll see you Monday, and good luck this game week. See you next time.